Okay, here's a quick update video on what's been going on with the channel. Not too much lately. I've still been trucking away and working at some stuff. Uh, I'm still having a problem of just having that time to sit down and really uh, dedicate 3 hours in a row even to the channel. Sometimes at work I'll have a lot of time, but I'll do some work when I'm walking the dog. I'll get a little bit of time, maybe an hour and before work or something, but I really want that time to just sit down and focus on it. And there are a few things getting in my way right now that I can get rid of. Uh, One is, to be honest, I mentioned AI and ChatGPT and Grok and messing with all that stuff in regards to the channel before, but just in general, like there's a lot of cool stuff you could do with that I'll just spend too much time doing because right now I have a paid for membership and it's not related to the channel, but I'll just generate stuff and mess around and experiment, and it's really addictive. So I've really got to reel that in. Um, some other things going on. The holiday season is coming up, but I got a lot of my shopping for that already done, so um, it's not like I'm going to be rushing around to do all that. That's not going to be taking up time. Uh, Hopefully, I can get everything wrapped and just doing it, being planned. It's like I'll be wasting less time. I did start going to therapy, which is something I've been wanting to do for years, and that's just another thing that takes up time because the session's about an hour, and it takes in total 30 minutes to get there, 30 minutes to get back. So it's just one more thing. I have the leadership program at work, which also takes time time and energy, mental energy. I can't. Yeah, I've got things with that I've got to prepare for, so I can't just be solely focused on YouTube. Um, but I did want to touch on therapy a little bit because it's something that I've been wanting to do for years, honestly. And the biggest obstacle was just, well, I'm not, I want to be better off. Basically, I kept putting it off for different reasons. I would either say I didn't have enough time, I need to get in a place where I have more time, I need to have more money, I need to get myself to a better mental level before I go to therapy, which does not make sense. And even some things as far as money and time in general, I'm hoping I can, if I can get some of the issues, the personal issues I have worked out, if I can get those issues worked out, that I can make these other areas of my life better and hopefully be more productive overall. There's just, I'm not going to get into everything in this journal here, but there's just things that I felt like have held me back. And in some ways, I'll do things in my life where I start working really hard on other tasks to basically avoid certain challenges, to avoid certain conflicts, or because I have anxiety about doing a certain thing or a mental hang up, that I'm thinking, well, if I just knew how to deal with these and I just got these problems out of the way, could I basically make my life a whole lot easier and unlock. I don't know a better way to put it right now that doesn't sound corny, but unlock my true potential. So I've started doing that, and so far it's good. And one of the things that's nice is just sitting down and talking to someone because a lot of it right now hasn't been rushing into solutions. It's just been sitting down and actually talking to someone, which in itself has been good. And I noticed there's been progress from session one to session two because session one I was a lot more guarded, and in session two I was opening up about a lot more that I just didn't think I would be able to, and didn't think I'd ever be able to talk to anyone about. So that that's really good. But as far as YouTube, it's another thing that takes time out of the day. Um, I've had some slow days at my day job, so I've been able to get a lot done there. But one of the problem is I can't work on video editing or recording at work. I can do writing and I can do research when there's downtime, but I can't do video editing and I can't do recording and I can't do audio editing. So it just gets frustrating when you have a video that needs all those things done, and that's where you want to focus your attention. But it's like, well, you can't do that right now, so you got to put that off and focus on the next video. And maybe I just need to get into a better workflow with that, but and just kind of like I talked about in a few months back, like think of okay specific days for specific things. I know I'm gonna have to figure out something with that because also my sister moved out recently. I'm at her house right now, watching the dog, and this is something I'm gonna do. I think at least 2 days a week. Come over, walk the dog, at very least hang out with her, and I basically need to figure out okay what's a good way to do this. Probably coming over after work, sleeping the night, and where my sister lives now is pretty close to where I work, so that's pretty cool. But either way, it's just another obstacle. In some ways, coming over here might be nice because after I walk the dog, I can set up my laptop and do work here without all the distractions I have at home. In a way, that might be nice, but I'm also away from my desktop. So, uh, but just in general, a lot of these are issues for me, which there might be something to take from that. But the number one thing I can say that I've learned from the past month at very least, as far as working on the channel, that I think is worth applying in general, is working with someone else is really, really great. I've started working with my brother more closely on the channel, and I think I talked about what we did with the thumbnail work and how that made the process work much better. Um, he's more maybe this isn't the right word, but results driven. So he'll he won't get bogged down in the details as much as me. He kind of does in other ways, but basically he's more results driven, so he can push me toward that. And then there's some things he'll get hung up on, and I can sort of reel him in there. Um, I know some people have a problem of when they start working with someone else. They'll they'll just goof around all the time. You'll hear about people try to do bands and they never practice. They just spend all the time hanging out. That's not the case with us. I mean, that could be a whole topic for another video because I guess that's interesting that that just isn't a problem for us, that we're able to get right to work. Um, but yeah, if that is an issue for you, maybe working with someone isn't the best idea. Maybe you need to mature first. Maybe you need to set boundaries of okay, look, if this isn't done, we're not doing these hangouts or whatever. Um, that's a topic for another video. So this one's been all over the place, but I did want to just get out an update, kind of describe what's going on, and maybe I'll do one next week, maybe in 2 weeks. Just get to sort of feel things out for right now.